Good morning. Welcome to the Lowdown. I'm your host, Dob Low. And thank God we're back. Thank God we're back, baby. All right, guys. I've got a couple of interesting thoughts for you this morning. Let's think about it Thursday, so let's think about it. Let's use that old noodle. Let's use that bit of mush between our ears there to come up with some ideas. We're going to talk on the Trump-Japan deal from yesterday. I got a little more info on you on that. Maybe we'll get in depth, but let's get into it. Okay, I think the first place we could start is this. I've been talking about this for a while, maybe a couple of years. I definitely didn't come up with the idea, but it makes sense to me. Echo chambers, eco bubbles, whatever you want to call it. Basically, what that means is it's when you create an environment and the structure does not allow any differing opinions, right? Your social media is strict, hard right or hard left friends group. You don't allow anybody on your feed that's going to have some far out there idea or something you disagree with. You watch one set of news, and, that's kind of it. You listen to the same radio channel, the same general idea of TV, and I think that's a rather dangerous thing. Actually, I know it is. And one of the ways I know that is because when you go to these communist countries, you go to tyrannical states across the world, one of the things they do, all of them kind of, is they ban media that does not agree with them, and they don't allow that free open thought, that free open speech. What that does, I think, is it radicalizes people, right? Because it's been so long since you've heard a differing opinion that even if you heard one that was good, that you couldn't argue against, you will deny, because for the last 20 or 30 years, the only thing you've been hearing is this one idea. And we're starting to walk down a path that the whole world is slowly going to kind of become that, right? It seems like even the free world is slowly going to find itself into an echo chamber. And I think it's dangerous, guys. Back in the day, you got your newspaper, you had the radio, you went down to Hardee's, you heard everybody openly have discourse about the topics of the day. But now, you're at home on your Facebook with the same people that you've always had on there, where you know their ideas, and if you don't agree with them, you can remove them from your feed. And so, I don't know the best way to get around that. I know for me personally, I keep a couple more liberal news sources on my feed. I think X has been a tremendous help. Twitter now. I think that's been a tremendous help. And I don't just scroll through my feed of people that I'm following. I like the For You option. And I feel like that opens it up to seeing some stuff maybe I don't agree with. I think that's very important. You just... When the newspaper was around, if you really had a crazy opinion, crazy idea that you wanted to get out to the masses, you wrote it on there, it went to everybody's doorstep, and everybody saw it whether they liked it or not. And then they had to see you in public, and they might call you out on it, right? Or you had to go to Hardee's, like I said. You had to get on the radio where everybody in town was going to listen. But now you can throw all your crazy ideas onto your Facebook feed with no repercussion because you've got rid of all the people who might disagree with you. And it's really dangerous, the fact that you can just live a life without disagreement on ideas. So maybe try to start navigating that. Maybe try to start seeing some other ideas, they're not going to kill you. The other ideas are not going to kill you. I think that's going to be a problem that we face coming forward big time. I think we're already facing it. I don't think it's a complete random hoax that everything seems so polarized far left and far right anymore. I think that's generally where people are. And I think a little bit has to do with these echo chambers and echo bubbles. Okay, that's my little spiel on that. And remember, guys, we didn't have these problems when Pluto was a planet. Man, I miss Pluto. That dog was up there taking care of stuff. As soon as Pluto left, world went crazy. Man, Pluto was doing more than we thought it was doing. And I still think it's a planet, dagnabbit. Maybe it's not by some astronomical reasoning, but to the common man, Pluto, we love you. You were a good one. I'm not heartbroken, but, we miss you. We miss you. All right. Oh, I had a funny thought yesterday, and I wrote it down. The problem was where I wrote it down at, I had to write the rest of my points around it, so now they don't make sense when I look at my page. But, guys, it seems like to me that we might not get the Epstein files. But I genuinely think if we just keep our foot on the gas pedal on this topic, right? Just never quit commenting about it, sharing posts about it, letting the media create topics about it. We might not get Epstein, but they might release Area 51 at this point because they are willing to do anything they can do to get us off their back about Epstein. So hammer down on the gas, guys. We might get the aliens here soon. We really might. I don't know. Maybe a little ET phone home kind of a deal. I'd be kind of scared to touch fingertips with him. I'm not going to lie. That's a brave little kid. I don't think I'd touch him. I'd probably have like a latex, like a grilling glove. But yeah, I'd probably put my grill apron on and get my big grill gloves out before I touched him. I don't know. Sketchy little thing. All right, guys, let's get into the news. All right. We'll do, the Trump-Japan deal first. Okay, so I did some digging on that. I told you guys I was going to yesterday. I want to congratulate a win there. This seems big to me, and I'm going to tell you why at the end. So Japan is America's fifth largest trade partner. They spend about $230 billion annually. So they put a lot of money into the economy. And what we did yesterday is we took their tariffs, which I think you guys probably remember when Trump raised all the tariffs across the world because he felt like we were all getting ripped off here in America. And I think he was right about that. I really do. But he took them from 27% to 15%, which doesn't sound like that big of a jump. But if you're spending $230 billion, 12% of interest is huge. People fight over 3 to 5% interest when they go get a car. If you've got good credit, people are terribly mad if they get a 5% on their credit. You know what I'm saying? They had to pay 5% interest. So 12% off their interest is pretty huge. They have to buy 100 Boeing planes. I think that's probably just trying to help out the market here. They have to spend $3 billion extra in their military budget bought from the U.S. And guys, I really think it's going to be a help. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a lot of Toyotas driving around. Nintendo's pretty big these days. We use a lot of Japanese hardware and software in this country. So I think that's a good move. I thought this was funny. All the U.S. auto manufacturers are super mad about this, right? Because Mexico and Canada are still 25% tariffs. They're just royally pissed off. Well, here's a thought. Maybe you shouldn't have ran away with all of your manufacturing to Mexico and Canada as soon as you saw a dollar sign. Maybe you should have supported the American people, kept your plants here so people could have jobs. Because I was fairly young, but I kind of remember a recession because all of the jobs in America were leaving to go other places because you could pay someone $1.50 an hour instead of paying Americans $10 an hour. Which what the problem really was is you all were paying union bosses probably a gajillion dollars to act like they were fighting for the common man when they don't even know the common man. So I hope the U.S. auto industry makes it and survives, but I'm pretty happy they're mad because we're kind of mad at them. A Toyota should not be more American made than a Chevrolet. That's baloney. So to the U.S. auto manufacturers, maybe come back to America and this wouldn't be happening to you. Give me your money, see? The next piece of news we have today, guys. Ukraine and Russia met in Istanbul to have a peace talk. I've been covering random bits of news about what's going on over there. We'll see if that amounts to anything. I have doubts that it will, right? But they're going to try really, really hard on both sides to come to a resolution before wintertime. Wintertime in that fighting zone is basically a dead time. It's a dead space. You can't move. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated. And that's it for today, guys. Today's song of the day is Hell or High Water by William Elliott Whitmore. Go get after it on this Think About It Thursday, and think about it.